the world. Okay, so we are trying out Badgermole Cub. I really, really, really like Badgermole Cub. It's a 2-mana 2/2 Earthbend 1, and then also when you tap a creature for mana, you add an extra mana. So hold on, so let me pull up over here. So I've got 3 different Badgermole Cub decks. I probably think that the Risen Reef build is going to be the best, but I've also been playing a lot of blue decks for the last 3 hours, so I think turning my brain off with the Karn the Great Creator Devotion build seems really fun. And I've always really wanted Leyline of Abundance to come back in Modern. It was a very small window of time, but during the Hogak era, when Once Upon a Time was legal, Once Upon a Time Devotion was actually a pretty good deck. A lot of people weren't playing cheap removal for your creatures, and Leyline of Abundance gave you some like really, really crazy starts. Leyline of Abundance, kind of the same effect as Badgermole Cub, right? Whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. So this allows you to go like really in on this effect in theory. I don't know how much it does in practice, but in this deck we're really in on Dryad Arbor, either like having a turn 1 Leyline or an early Badgermole Cub and just fetching up a Dryad Arbor and having it tap for a bunch of mana after we untap with it, or Green Sun Zenith for Dryad Arbor also works pretty well. And then it's nice that you can Green Sun Zenith also for Badgermole Cub, or you can Green Sun for Craterhoof Behemoth as a big win. We also have Quirion Ranger to... Oh, dang it. Goodbye, Sylvan Safekeeper. We have Quirion Ranger to untap our mana creatures to make a bunch of extra mana, but also we have Ashaya, which we could either tutor up with Green Sun Zenith or dig for with Storm the Festival to give us infinite green mana. So this turns all of your creatures into forests. Quirion Ranger allows you to return a forest to your hand to untap a creature. So if you have a creature that taps for 2 mana at least with the Badgermole Cub in play, for example, you can go return Quirion Ranger to its own ability, untap your forest that taps for 2, replay your forest, replay your Quirion Ranger, and just keep doing that. That's going to let you generate infinite green mana. It would also give you infinite landfall triggers, which could either make just infinite insects with Springheart Nantuko or infinite copies of a creature as well. And with infinite green mana, flashing back Storm the Festival, winning the game with Karn is pretty nice. I'm also playing Nissas in the deck. You have some infinite combos with like Springheart Nantuko, Nissa, Badgermole Cub is infinite creatures. Also, we have one more Avatar card in the sideboard. I think this is going to be a card I play in almost all of my Karn sideboards. Planetarium of Wong Chitong. He's got a Planetarium too. 6 mana, scry 2. Whenever you scry a surveil, look a top card. Cast that card without paying its mana cost. Do that once each turn. Just a nice source of card advantage to grab in your big mana Karn deck, which is something that I've been really missing when I've been playing these kind of decks. Okay, I'm not sure about the main deck Endurance. I think it's okay to play. Let's get in there. I'm going to update the... Okay, we've got an opponent who's taken some time to show up. Here they are. We do have double Leyline. We don't have a land. I'm going to mulligan this. We do have another Leyline and the ability to get... So we can go turn 1, Leyline, get a Dryad Arbor, and then play Hedge Maze, Quirion Ranger, untap, Badgermole Cub. We're gonna keep this hand. We're going to keep this hand. I think I'm just going to put back then this... Could be okay. Okay, my opponent reveals Devourer of Destiny. Can't be too upset to see that, I guess. What do you think? Commander, Bottle, Avatar worth it? I actually have a 3-part YouTube series coming out on YouTube, Aspiring Spike, breaking down the value of all of the sealed product that exists. And I usually do about 20-30 minutes of content, and then I just at the very end I say yes or no. So go ahead and make sure you watch to the end and watch all the ads. I do a lot of promoting my cryptocurrency in the video along the way to get you to the answer to that question. Okay, I've drawn a Dryad Arbor. I think I'm just gonna play it. I'm just teasing. Maybe it's just a dumb joke, but I don't do that. I don't. I don't know what the Commander Avatar Commander product is. I have not read the Commander cards. I would never purchase. I would never. Here's chat. I'm gonna give you the only finance Magic YouTube video you'll ever need. You will never need to watch another Magic finance video after you listen to me speak. Right now, are you ready? Do you want to play in a tournament? If so, I encourage you to purchase cards for that tournament. Do you not have a tournament to prepare for? If so, I encourage you to not purchase any cards. End of list. Do you have a use for the cards? Go ahead and buy them. Do you not? Go ahead and do it. Use your money for something you have a use for. End of list. Okay, I'm gonna go Badgermole Cub, Earthbend onto my Verdant Catacombs. First time casting Badgermole Cub here. So this taps for 3 mana. Oh right, sorry. If you Earthbend onto a Verdant Catacombs, you don't get the mana. Because it itself has to already have the ability to tap for mana. But that's okay. We'll crack the fetch. We'll get a basic forest. We'll play a Quirion Ranger. We will return forest to untap the Dryad Arbor. We will Badgermole Cub. And I think it just Earthbend again. I think this is fine. Obviously, we need to pay off. We have the Leyline of Abundance maybe to start activating. Yeah, do you have a draft to go to? Purchase cards for your draft. that I don't know. I just don't think that for me at least, I just don't think collecting in Magic is something that's very interesting these days. I think having older cards is nice. These newer cards don't do it for me. So they have 6 mana. They might just not have anything to do since a lot of this stuff costs 7. Maybe they have a K return and they're hesitant to slaughter a pair of Badgermole Cubs here. No, they have something to do. Yeah, collecting is fine if it makes you happy, but like, I think that if your goal is also to like, you know, purchase things for value, you're never going to get more value than just buying singles for decks you need. And if your goal is to make money, you could almost for sure make money more efficiently doing something else. But I don't know, some people make good money vending and stuff. Okay, I drew a Nissa, which is very, very fun top deck. So I'm going to tap this for 4. I think I'm going to crack this fetch. Okay, then I'm going to cast Nissa. So I believe this now is going to tap for 5, right? I just see 5, yeah. So let's go play Hedge Maze, Surveil. I think I'll keep that. Karn, the Great Creator. Sorry about that. So because I've got the Karn on top, maybe I don't want to activate the Leyline of Abundance. I want to, but I want to activate the Leyline of Abundance. I'm gonna. You can't stop me, chatters. They blocked the smaller creature. Why not? So the downside would be that I'm bouncing a forest. I have to untap the Dryad Arbor to activate this. So if my opponent sweeps my board, I would really like to have another forest that taps for 2 mana in play. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna activate it. Definitely a good look, I think, for the Cub here. Okay, command exile forest. We can still activate the Leyline. It does seem like they have K command. They're taking forever to choose what they're gonna do with it. Cool turn. We get our Cubs out of K return range. It's nice also that the Ashaya combo is infinite mana, and if you have a Leyline, it's just like kind of a clean infinite mana sink, you know? Yeah, it seems Nissa is still shaking the world after all this time. I was really excited to register Nissa in the deck. I don't think this is going to be the best Badgermole Cub build, but it's definitely, I think it's one that'll let us understand what this card is capable of and give us directions in our other builds too. And it's also like, it's important to play it with Leyline to some extent because it's a similar effect, and maybe this isn't the right shell for Leyline Badgermole Cub, but it's like at least a start to understanding. Karn best plus top deck against Emrakul. That's true, yeah. Emrakul wouldn't be too bad here. Yeah, I don't know how bad Ugin is. They probably can't trigger it too many more times. Famous last words, but I doubt they could do it more than like twice, realistically more. Probably only one more time, if that. They consider squeezing a Bristly Bill in here. Bristly Bill could be good. It's a good mana sink too. Usually kind of slow. So they do hit the Nissa first. 7 mana Ugin would be worse. 7, you mean 8 mana Ugin? I mean that one would end the game for sure. Alright, so they got a Chrysalis. Wong Chi-Tong was good. We're definitely happy with that card. They got 2 cards left. They have 1 colorless mana floating and the spawn. So they would need like a K command or a talisman here. They're thinking forever again, so it seems like maybe they have K command again, which would that would suck. I do have a Karn on top. They do have another spell they're playing. Would have been nice to win this die roll, I guess. They just definitely have another K command, and it's definitely going to beat me. Oh, they target the Quirion Ranger. That's really good for me, because I just needed the Cub or the or this to be in play. I mean, I'm not in good shape, but I can go Card Needle the Ugin, but then the Chrysalis is going to be able to defeat my. No, I can go Karn, Needle, Ugin, play Dryad Arbor to chump block the Chrysalis. And I'm not exactly in what you might call good shape, but... Is it not a comma? Or it is a comma. Ugin, Eye of the Storms. It tramples, and it has reach. You have to get to sub if you're wrong. I don't make the rules. Sorry about that. Also buy some Spike Coin. Alright, they have 7 mana. 3 cards in hand. Oh yeah, the Ugin static is also going to wreck me, huh? Let's keep it going. I don't know. Maybe they have all Emrakuls. Nausea the 15th. Thank you. Welcome back. Isn't this just slightly changed Brood Scale? This deck we're playing right now is just slightly changed Brood Scale? I think this deck shares 0 cards besides maybe some lands with Brood Scale. So I guess slightly changed is accurate. Oh. What did I cut? Cut a Ashaya. Gavin gifting a sub, making good on being wrong. Thank you so much. Don't let it happen again. Springheart combo? I mean, they don't play Springheart in at Brood Scale. Okay, it's fine. Let's just keep going. Actually, maybe I want to cut the Endurance for like a main deck Mite. Seems okay. I mean, yeah, we have some Springheart stuff. Japan was great, Sanderson. It's awesome. I had a great time. It feels like Brood Scale in the sense that it's cool. I guess that's true. Yeah, we did test Owl. Owl, I think, was really good. I think it certainly seems like this might seem obvious, but like in the deck that was playing 8 Wildfires, it was like an insane card, like unbelievable. And in the deck that had like no support for it, it was fine. And so maybe that seems kind of obvious, but I after those leagues, I'm definitely really interested in playing stuff like the Wildfires, Path to Exile, Field of Ruin, to help enable it. Okay, we're on the play for game 2. I guess we're going to go turn 1, Delighted Halfling, turn 2, Green Sun for a Cub. Sorry for the pace of play here. Earthbending finally bringing back Manlands, hell yeah. Dude, we got Earthbend as Celestial Colonnade. This doesn't do anything. I think like the Field of Ruin effects too, especially with Wong Chi Tong, they seem so nice where you're like in theory playing a deck that's like mostly instant speed anyways, right? And you just get to like flash it in, hold up interaction, hold up the Field of Ruin. It seems like such a nightmare to play against. And also Field of Ruin always forces the shuffle, so you always get the card off of it too, compared to Demolition Field, which doesn't. So keep that in mind, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I would just almost never think about putting Scheming Cemetery into a modern deck. To be quite honest, I would not worry about it too much. It seems unlikely that's gonna be where you want to be. Okay, so let's get a Cub. Earthbend onto the forest. So we have 6 mana next turn. Although I wonder if it's going to be... I guess it's not going to be mana positive to copy Badgermole Cub. Although we also get more devotion for Nykthos. So we go... Tap this for 2, bestow. This does make a green, not the same color. So bestow here, play a fetch, copy. Yeah, I think it's not... I think that's just going to be a little bit worse than just casting a Storm the Festival. So there's a Nissa and an Ashaya. So Ashaya would make it to where my Badgermole Cub is a forest that's tapping for 4 mana. Otherwise, I could go Nissa Karn. Like, there's not like a lot I can really Karn for. I didn't even like take a look what they rumbled into. Rumble the Sire. Okay, I shouldn't have even looked. It seems weird to just not get Nissa Karn. I'm thinking like, well, what can I do something beautiful here instead? I almost feel like I could just do something lovely, but I guess not. So I get Ashaya. This is a forest that taps for 3, and then this taps for 3, and I can't flash back. Okay, fine. Bestow on the fetch land. Yeah, I can't play another land this turn. If I could play another land this turn, I could just have such a lovely turn. Yeah, Umbral Mantle's not quite there either. Why are we on so many Dryad Arbors? Well, we are a Badgermole Cub, Leyline of Abundance deck, so we care a lot about Dryad Arbor here, as you know, and you know how much I hate that card, but it is the time for it. Not a bad turn 3. Nature's Claim the Coating. They could have also K command unlocked for the Cub, maybe. Another Cub. We're going to have a beautiful turn, I think. Let me start off. Just cast another Cub. So these should be tapping for 4. I forgot to play another land first. I guess that's okay. Do I want to... Let's see, it might not even be mana positive. I think we'll just grow this 1 by 1. So let's go ahead and tap tap the smaller one. And then I'm gonna go bestow onto a Badgermole Cub. Oh my gosh. I think we may discover a combo here. Oh wait, no, I needed to bestow. Sorry, the combo was bestow in the forest. That just is the combo. It's okay, whatever. This is gonna make more mana. And making more mana is cooler. No, wait, it would not have made more mana. That would have been infinite mana. Talking on my ass. Okay, now they K command. Yeah, so obviously I need to do it in the land. I just got so enamored by doing this, like copying the new card. Sit with the 20 months. Glad you're still liking the stream. Okay. So good news, they punted too. And also good news, I still have 2 Badgermole Cubs in play. Does this give haste? It does give haste. Although I guess this turns stuff into Dryad Arbor, so that's not necessarily that interesting. So this taps for 4. Umbral Mantle is infinite mana at the moment. I could also just Mindslaver them. All right, we'll just Mindslaver them. Misted House and Infinite Mana. So if we had bestowed Nantuko on the forest, which they should have K-commanded in response if we'd done that, but if we bestowed Nantuko onto forest, then we play a land, we copy the forest. It enters as a regular forest, which taps for 2 mana, and then it triggers a landfall. We copy again. We keep copying. We keep doing that, and we make infinite lands, infinite powered. All right, so we're going to go to game 3. Yeah, I described this as a chill devotion deck to turn my brain off with. So it's infinite landfall, infinite tap forest, yeah, which is infinite mana the next turn because it's only it's mana neutral as you pop off because you have to tap the forest each time to make the copy of the forest. So maybe it was better to target the cub to actually try to kill that turn. Basically just brood scale. Well, definitely gonna keep Green Sun for Arbor into Cub to double Cub. My opponent mulled to 6. Although, imagine having a Leyline in his hand, it would go crazy. Always like Mindslaver a lot in the Devotion deck. It's just like an actual win the game button that you don't get to play that often in other Karn boards. Although maybe like Coffers, I don't think Coffers almost ever plays Mindslaver, but maybe it should. Not that Coffers even really sees play a lot these days. When brewing with Badgermole, did you consider using Amulet of Vigor or Spelunking to make the lands return untapped, or did you not want to make a worse Amulet deck? Yeah, usually when you start adding Amulet or Spelunking to your deck, there's just almost no way to make a deck containing those cards better than the like super solved or relatively solved Amulet Titan. There's a Temple and 2 Myco spawns there. They choose the Temple, which is kind of sad to some extent. Well, I have no fear of K return. Listen, I'm gonna Earthbend my Nykthos. I could Legend Roll Nykthos and bring them back next turn, and then I guess they would Legend Roll again, so that doesn't do anything. But I think it'd be funny to get K returned here. This is 9 mana to start. Myco Spawn seems like a problem for this deck. For our deck, that they could just 6 mana Stone Rain-us. Earthbend returns exile creatures. Yeah, I guess if they Earthbend get Earth stuff, it's not that big a deal. Looks like maybe they have an Unholy Heat for one of the Cubs. Pretty good Molda 6 for them. So now we have 6 mana. So seems like I should just cast Storm the Festival. Am I missing anything? I don't think I can go Nissa first, right? So I go Nissa, float a mana, untap. This taps for 3. All right, Storm the Festival. Well, that stinks. Kind of shocked it was even possible to have a storm that was that bad. Oh, sorry, I didn't even mean to keep that Nykthos. Meant to keep the old one. Okay, your turn. Can't untap with this as she says non-creature. Huh. Didn't know that. I guess that's why you can't just keep dumping counters on a land. Has there been a chat discussion of the background noise filter, the way the ambient noise has been coming and going as you speak produces unpleasant audio effect? No, people have not mentioned issues with the audio in a while. I'm not sure what's going on. Hard to diagnose midstream, but I can take a look later. Okay, so we have 8. It's 9 if we play this. +1 audio word. Thank you. I will take a look into it. It's just not something I can really mess with on stream, unfortunately. Opponent, you gotta cast these cake events on that Badgermole earlier. I don't know why we keep waiting so long. So I think I get to Winter Moon them here. I guess I don't really need to tap this now. I guess it's the same. Do yeah, I have enough mana to Winter Moon. I'm going to lose the Karn. This is tech I've liked to some extent. Not too often, but just if you're a Karn deck that happens to play basics, like the first Winter Moon almost always is good because your opponents will just sometimes have no basics and they'll sometimes tap all their lands and you'll just win the game. And it's really fun when it happens. And the nice thing about like Karn targets is they just get to be really situational. So it's very tough to main deck Winter Moon because it's really easy to play around, and it's also so situational sometimes. But as a Karn target, it really shines. They have one card left in their hand. Untap the Dryad Arbor, I guess. So this is 6, 7 mana, and then 8, 9. I've been burned before, but I think I'm just going to start by casting the Storm. Okay. Not particularly good, I guess. So my devotion is 4. So it doesn't seem like there's a way for me to Titania before playing the other Nykthos. Nykthos just doesn't seem that good. Is there a chance we play Leyline to straight up make it better? There's no chance of doing that. When something we've played a lot on this channel is like a bunch of Leylines. I do not believe in playing Leyline of the Guild Pact just for the purpose of making Nykthos better. It's not a good strategy. That being said, I do think Nykthos is good enough in this deck just with the other Leylines and the other stuff. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I think it's still a strong card, if not as strong as maybe you've seen it in the past. But again, maybe I'm off about that. Maybe it's just not where you want to be. But I would be a lot more likely to just play a different version of the deck than play. I would go the other direction. I would just not play Nykthos if Nykthos doesn't seem good to you here. We can't activate the Nykthos again, so we'll just get a Catacombs. I'm saying putting Sprawl in Subground has to be wrong. Well, they don't have or just don't cast it. Yeah, I guess that's probably better. It's not really that different because you get to untap a double land. Oh, there's a basic forest. It's kind of funny. Okay. Maybe like an Ugin for the Nissa. Well, they could cast Emrakul here. Oh my gosh. I did not think Emrakul was castable. I guess let's get a Surveil land to try to surveil something not problematic to the top. Even though it's worse with my own Winter Moon. How problematic is this? I don't know. It's not really a good draw for me. What would be an example of a problematic draw? Green Sun, so they could grab Sylvan Safekeeper and sack all my lands. That would be a problem. I think I'm going to leave it on top. I think I'm going to get some water too while my opponent plays the match for us. Karn. Well, they can't get anything from my Karn board, right? Or unless it was bugged for a while, but they shouldn't be able to get anything from the Karn board. But maybe it's still bugged on Magic Online. Okay, it's my turn again, it seems. They just... Wait, they just did nothing? What did they even do? Yeah, they could have flashed back the storm, couldn't they? Maybe I'm wrong about that. So play this before the Nykthos. Five, 6. I guess I should surveil for the storm. Okay, so this gives me infinite mana. So I guess I'll wait on the Nissa activation. So we'll take Ashaya, then Leyline of Abundance. So this will give me infinite mana, and then lethal with all my creatures here. Great. Oh, no. Oh, sorry, it's not infinite because I've already activated the Quirion Ranger. Damn it. It'll be infinite next turn, though? Yeah, sorry, I forgot we already activated the Ranger. So I guess I should have activated the Nissa instead of the Ranger for this purpose. Should be fine though. They can untap. They can have 3 mana next turn. Should just be fine. We do have infinite mana at instant speed. We can make our board infinitely big on their turn. So if they cast like a K return, which would be their only like possible card here, we could just do that. Wizard with 6 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Oh no, we can't because we wouldn't be able to we can't replay the Ranger. Never mind. Okay, that's not how that works either. Maybe this deck was not the easy breezy, relaxing thing I thought it would be. Return a forest you control to its owner's hand. Untap this. Tap this for 3. Wait. No, sorry, I've misclicked. I've misclicked here. I know I'm supposed to target the Quirion Ranger, and I just didn't. Sorry, chat. But you're supposed to return the Quirion Ranger. We should still win here pretty easy. I'm not gonna try not to get flustered. But I thought I clicked this. Okay, take a Badgermole Cub. Take this. We can also ultimate our Nissa, which doesn't do much actually. Next turn, infinite for sure, yeah. Hold on, are they dead? They go block here, take 4. There's a 5 percent block here, then they take 8, 10, 12. Yeah, they should be dead. Oh wait, I can't tap this for mana. Oh no, I can because this is a forest. Yeah, it's a forest because of the Ashaya. Wait, it doesn't have vigilance? Oh my gosh, sorry, chat. Ah, my gosh. No, I should still be fine. I think these are forests, so they should tap for 3, and then this should be enough to activate the ley line. Oh, it's also 4. Oh my gosh. Not taking a break in the middle of a match like this again. I want to know. Okay, well, on these kind of turns, I think we almost always just want to go turn 1 Halfling, turn 2 Cub. Yeah, sympathy and putts, but we won. Makes him indestructible. I mean, we just had lethal too, so there's that. There's like also so many lines and so many weird interactions. Yeah, but the way the Quirion Ranger Ashaya things works is Ashaya turns Ranger into a forest. You tap a forest that taps for 2 mana. You untap the forest and return the Ranger. You replay the Ranger. You make infinite mana, and then you activate Leyline of Abundance infinite times. My opponent has suspended a Lotus Bloom here. Should be an okay Belcher matchup between our main deck Karns and our relative speed that they have a hard time interacting with. Yeah, Dryad Arbor does kind of as a forest for Nissa ult. I mean, I think you know, obviously just activating the Leyline 1, but also ultimating Nissa 1. I don't think there was really a way to lose that game, but there was definitely lots of ways to win it faster. If I thought about co-streaming on YouTube. Well, I thought a little bit about it, but the problem is the YouTube channel is all edited VODs, so I don't think it really makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it seems like we just always hold the Windswept Heath for possible landfall. Hopefully not getting shoaled here. Ooh. That's gonna be tough. Okay, so we have the Quirion Ranger. Now it doesn't go infinite with Ashaya without something tapping for 2 mana. It would be infinite like landfall triggers just by Ashaya and Ranger by himself. So if we draw a Badgermole Cub, we can go Ashaya infinite mana, play Storm and flashback Storm. I think we would have enough mana. I think we would have enough to do that if we also just drew a Greensun Zenith. I think that would also give us lethal. Instead, we top deck a Titania. Titania is kind of interesting. Although I think I should just basically always cast Storm the Festival here because it might find a Karn the Great Creator and that might stop them from winning the game next turn. I don't think there's really a lot else to think about here. You know, like obviously they could have a counter spell. We could play one of our legends that doesn't get countered because of Delighted Halfling, but I think, you know, if they can't combo kill me next turn, we're probably going to be in good shape, and we need to be doing something against them combo killing me. And if they have the, you know, classic counter kill you turn 4, good beats. All right, let's see what their build is like. Bummer. Main deck Flusterstorm. Main deck Flood Maul. Main deck Strict Serenade. Main deck Spell Pierce. And a Scolding. Wait, they're just doing 1 Scolding, 1 Serenade, 1 Spell Pierce, 1 Flusterstorm. Just draw the right one at the right time, I guess. Interesting. So you usually want to board in Pithing Needle as Karn here because Karn's static is a Pithing Needle. So you're kind of happy to have the redundancy to draw into, I think, most of the time. Although sometimes you want to grab it if you care about, I guess, the tapped fish card. I think I'm down to bring in the Vexing Bauble, potentially. I think I'm going to cut the Titania. 1/2 seems like a good target. Yeah, I don't know if you want a main deck. I think getting enough Karn is going to be good. I don't think you want to overdo it, but just like I think that we're very unlikely to Karn tutor for Bauble. We'll be happy to draw it because like by the time you have Karn in play, you're not worried about their 0 mana counter spells, and you're not worried about Lotus Bloom coming off suspend. And then if you have Karn in play, you don't care about Needle, but you like to draw it also. So I don't think the same logic applies too much for any of the other cards. General Zal seems great here. Which one is that? Hey Itachi. Card General Zal. Oh, it's ZH. Okay. I'm just gonna search over here because it seems like Zal may in fact be an Adderall. Wait, is Zal just the Blood Moon? Is Stonebrain worth bringing in? It could be, yeah. Could be. Although carding for Stonebrain can be like the lights out, which is kind of nice. Let's mulligan this on the play. So why would Zal be good here? So I think we're going to go end of turn, Dryad Arbor, untap, Earthbend onto the forest, and we'll have 5 mana turn 3. Not just Blood Moon, non-basics also intertapped. Well, it's mostly just that, right? Like, it's 7 mana to be a Blood Moon. It's not really... It's really just that. So it's good against... So, okay, when the comment General Zal would be good here is not that it would be good in our deck. It would be good against our opponent's deck. I understand now. Awesome, no beats. Glad you're able to keep up. Too bad we weren't able to overlap, huh? So Lotus Moon 1-2. There's a Charbelcher and a Tamashi. I'm almost definitely going to play Nissa this next turn to try to bait the counterspell since they can't kill me next turn. And if Nissa resolves, it'll give me enough mana to like Storm the Festival and Karn the following turn. Yeah, so now all of the lands that are in play currently tap for 3. Not enough for me to do anything with them now. But it's going to be 9 mana plus this forest. It basically represents another 5 because you tap it for 2, untap it, tap it for another 3. I don't know if there's any classic singers or country singers that know anything about 9 to 5s. That seems pretty good to me. Do I bait with Storm the Festival? I guess I bait with Storm the Festival. Oh, another Badgermole Cub. Okay, so tap this for 3. Play Misty Rainforest. Earthbend onto Misty Rainforest. Now these tap for 4 each. Yeah, it seems like we should be casting this first. We did Nykthos and we hit Springheart Nantuko. I guess I'm taking over Dryad Arbor. More devotion for Nykthos, I guess. So my devotion is currently 5. So this is 2 plus another 4 when I untap this, which is more. It's more mana than untapping the Nykthos by 1. So it seems like I'm 2 mana short of flashing back the Storm of the Festival and then casting the Karn. So I guess I'll just cast the Karn. Yeah, it wouldn't have really made a lot of sense for them to have Sandbag to counterspell, not counter the Storm of the Festival, but you never know. I'll just Stonebrain them. It's like they're just going to concede to the Stonebrain activation. I don't think we're going to do a lot better than my opponent just like for sure conceding. Storm will get me the mana back. Not 100%, but like if we're just also if they counter this instead, it's like we might as well have cast the Karn anyways. I think I will bring in the Stonebrain on the draw just so I have more pieces here. If you had Mantle on the board, you win here. We do have Mantle on the board, but the Mantle would have given us infinite mana, not infinite, like... I guess it would have given us infinite power amongst the stuff. We do have Mantle. Stonebrain, the thing about Stonebrain is if they're going to concede to it without us having to click a lot because we get to look at their deck. And if Stonebrain resolves, we get to look at their deck and... we get to and that's an extra like it's better to win the game and look at your opponent's deck than it is to win the game and not look at your opponent's deck, which is why you get Stonebrain there when you still have a game to play. But yeah, we do have the Umbral Mantle. Yeah, we were like 2 mana short of Mindsaver there. This deck is harder to play than I thought it was going to be. I wonder if it's harder than my other Badgermole Cub build. It's going to take some time, I think, to really figure these builds out. This is our 3rd deck today. Played 2 Wangshi Tong builds, and then this. I'm going to keep on the draw against Belcher specifically. We just have turn 2 Karn. Although I wonder if I'm supposed to Green Sun for the 3rd Dryad Arbor. It's very weird with the Quirion Ranger here, right? I think I like green sunning for the Arbor because it lets me start picking up basic forest with the Quirion Ranger and then still playing a Dryad Arbor for my land for turn. So I do think it's it might maybe I should just get a Cub here. It seems like they have something. Green Sun for Cub doesn't really do a lot though. Well, we're always going to untap this. Let's just go ahead and do that next. So we saw they had Flusterstorm. We saw they had Strict Serenade. I cannot remember if that card gets... I cannot remember if that card counters Planeswalkers. I think it does. I think it counters all the permanents, and Swang Song counters all the non-permanents. No, Swang Song also counters something else. Artifact creature Planeswalker. Okay, it does. So do I just want to get a Cub? No, we can just cast Storm next turn. I'll cast the Karn. Okay, great. It just resolved! Great! It just resolved. Now, I did board in the Stone Brain. So I think I might just get Coding here. Which I know everybody's just excited for anyways. The Umbral Mantle isn't quite... I mean, it would be infinite power on our creatures. I think I would just get the Coding. Although I guess we could be a little bit worried about getting given a tapped fish, and then my opponent untaps and wins. Let's see what happens here. You want to get Tormod's Crypt? I think it's like just definitely Coding here, right? There's a Flood Ball. Well, it's better to know about it, I guess. The fact that they're not immediately grabbing the Flood Ball is concerning. Might be another Winter Moon game. We can grab Mite and upkeep target blue. We can. I'm thinking that it depends a lot if they play an untapped land or not. But Winter Moon just might be great because I get to lock all of their lands down. I guess that might lose to Tamashi. Yeah, it definitely is a tricky 3 cards for them. It's like a super interesting pile. Okay, they choose Flare of Denial. Then they play a land tapped. The tapped on the land is kind of crazy. And then I draw Badgermole Cub, which is also pretty wild. So I guess we go play Forest, Badgermole Cub onto the Forest, and then these are tapping for 3 each, and I can untap for another one for a total of 9 mana. Oh. Alright, sorry, it doesn't untap it like this, it does. So we have 9 mana, which is 1 short of Mindslaver, but they also have the Flare. I boarded in the Vexing Bauble. Yeah, Earthbending gives haste. So I guess I'm just gonna grab the card that is a must counter. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go cast Umbral Mantle. Now they have to counter this, and I have to cast this first because I need mana to start the loop. I can't play this last. But this is gonna give all of my land creatures here in play, my mana creatures in play, infinite power if they let it resolve. Yeah, we boarded in the Vexing Bauble. Green Sun for infinite mana ever. I think we're gonna do that after this, right? After the Flare. So we go tap this for 3. Oh no, sorry. If we activate the Quirion Ranger, the Ashaya doesn't work, so we just need to cast Storm the Festival. So I'm going to untap this, bounce this Forest. Cast Storm the Festival. Now we hit... Is this only at sorcery speed? So I can't activate Quirion Ranger on my opponent's turn to activate it. If we had hit a land here, we could have Stone-Brained. But we did not. We've already played a land for turn. Okay. We only lose to Tamashi plus either Into the Flood Maw plus payoff, or it could also be Sink plus untapped land plus payoff plus Tamashi. So pretty specific hands where we could lose. Crypt would be good against Tamashi. Yeah, I was just thinking that I wanted to put a must counter in play against the Flare. But yeah, maybe Crypt just to not lose to Tamashi was the move. I think it was this slide was okay. Could Badgermole Cub work in the Ice Till Emrakul Ghost Quarter variants? I have a Ice Till Tamashi variant that... Okay, so they're playing the Belcher out. Wow, this is so interesting. So playing Belcher out means that my Stonebraid doesn't do anything anymore. Well, let's start off by... Well, hold on. Let's be smart about this. I'm going to go play Basic Forest, then play Badgermole Cub. Name Floodmaw. They also have Sync, but we can still activate Stonebraid, yeah. But let's like one. We could try to get infinite mana and just win the game with the Leyline of Abundance. Like if my opponent does need to have 0 mana interaction for them to not die. So let's try to just win the game before we try to not lose the game, and then we can try to not lose the game. I do have Leveler, but my Karn's at 1 loyalty, so I can't tutor something here. Can we just hoof them? It's better to Green Sun for 5 here than it is to 10, because Green Sun for 5 wins the game. Green Sun for 8 also wins the game, but if my opponent has a counter magic, I'd rather not spend the extra 3 mana, right? Yeah, I do think I would probably name Sync instead of Floodball. So do we think that maybe they have like Shoal plus a 2-drop? Because if it's Shoal, they just can't really counter the Green Sun. Can't use Stonebrain to 0 mana interaction? Well, it could be a few different things, but I suppose we could. Yeah, maybe just Stonebrain on Shoal is right. They could have boarded in Force of Negation too, so it's not exactly clear. So they Shoal, pitch Shoal. We still win. And now they can't really have anything as the last card, I guess. Okay, so we get Ashaya. Okay, although I could misclick here. Okay, so I'm going to untap the Dryad Arbor. I'm going to return the Quirion Ranger, because it is now a forest thanks to Ashaya. And then I'm going to make infinite mana, and with this infinite mana, I can Storm the Festival, but I can also just activate Leyline of Abundance infinite times. So I'm just going to show my opponent friendly-like that, look, I can win the game with my infinite mana. And if they don't want to be all friendly-like and concede, that's okay. I will, twiddle my thumbs here and... Oops. And, okay, they give us the GG. All right, 2-0. 2-0. My opponent's playing slow, so sometimes the brains get ahead of the actions we can take, I guess. What made infinite mana? Ashaya, a creature that can tap for 2 or more creatures, and Quirion Ranger is kind of a weird 3-card infinite mana, infinite landfall combo. But Quirion Ranger is just kind of good, and these decks want to play Green Sun Zenith anyways. These decks incidentally play creatures that tap for more than 1 mana anyways. They play Leyline of Abundance anyways for the mana sink, so the Ashaya ends up just kind of incidentally being a pretty good tool, I think. They might take the Karn, but I think they probably should take the Cub. I would imagine they don't have a push if they didn't push the Arbor. Maybe they have Bowmaster, though. They do take the Karn, so we do get to Badgermole Cub. There's another Green Sun. Probably just save the Green Sun for value, since we suspect our opponent doesn't have much creature interaction. My suspicions were inaccurate, although not too bad for them to force the Solitude on the spot on the 2-mana creature. They pitched a Mending. Why wouldn't we Earthbend the Fetch? If you Earthbend the Fetch doesn't tap for more mana. And I was thinking I wanted to Earthbend onto the forest so I could Green Sun for Nissa. Then I could also use the Fetch Line to trigger Nissa, get some value. Should have said that out loud, although this is the kind of deck that there's so much going on, it's hard to say everything I'm thinking. Nissa. Turn 3 through a Thoughtseize and a Solitude. It's not too bad. I think I might just be able to Green Sun for Craterhoof next turn. I think you might want to Yavimaya, although Yavimaya is also not a fetch land, which is kind of awkward. But it would have been better to Earthbend on the fetch here. Although if we Earthbended on the fetch, it's not clear my opponent would have Solituded immediately for whatever that's worth. This has been looking pretty good. Like, weirdly good. It's definitely the kind of, like, older tech that you need to try in builds like this to see if it, like, is just... It is, like, a lot more powerful with Cub. Is it powerful enough to see play? And so far, I have actually liked it a lot more than I thought I would. This is +1 mana. It's not really any different from tapping a regular forest, I guess. Right, if I activate this, I go to 7. I guess I am going to activate it, though, because I have to. I could also untap lands with the Quirion Ranger if I need to. Let's see if they have the Force of Negation. Craterhoof finally gets to show up to work, unless they have Force of Negation. Oh, come on, dude. Well, do I want to? No. Yeah, I think the first Yavimaya is probably worth it. So they decide not to ephemerate the Quantum Riddler because they want to attack Nissa. Which I'm actually really surprised that they decided this is the case. I feel like they're like super dead on board, and I'm not really sure how, with 3 cards in their hand, like unless their 3 cards are Solitude, White Card, Ephemerate, I don't know what they're doing against my board. Maybe my board isn't as good against them as I think, though, because I can't plus on any of these. Okay, well I'm going to attack with everything. Right? Yeah. Dude, this is the coolest play. I get to bounce the forest back to my hand. I get to untap this forest so that it's ready to flash in Endurance at instant speed. So just in case they draw Goryo's, Atraxa as their 2 cards. We're ready for that. And then I also now get to plus the Nissa. That was cool. I liked that. that serotonin is flooding through my mind. So they're starting off by discarding a Flooded Strand. So maybe they drew like a Quantum Riddler. No, they're flying the frog. So do I want to chump block the frog? I think so. Probably more so just to deny them 2 cards than to save the Nissa. But saving Nissa is nice. Dude, nice Thoughtseize into Solitude by Badgermole Cub, into Force of Negation by Green Sun on 8, into with Quantum Riddler Ephemerate and Psychic Frog. Play some good cards next time, I guess. Maybe I should talk shit after the match. play some good cards, I guess. Could this play Saga and be 12 tutor deck? Well, what would you want to tutor with Urza Saga? I think that the recurring Urza Saga is also just like, to me it feels so 2020, 2008, whenever MH2 came out. Was that 2020? No, I think it was later. It was later than that. Whenever like recurring Urza Saga and like Jund Saga, this was something that was like kind of powerful at some point, yeah. But it's been a long time since I felt like this was a good strategy, and I don't really feel like it is. You know, it's just like so much worse than the average modern turn that I wouldn't recommend it. I'm gonna keep this. We got a Leyline, sue me. Did you Springheart Nantuko a land there? You make it fit lands in this yet? I could have, but then I also shouldn't have been able to because my opponent messed up. But yeah, that is, we do have Nantuko in the deck. Yeah, that's part of the reason why. It's not terrible to do when it's free compared to Rin. I mean, it's not free to Badgermole Cub your land. What are you talking about? In what way is that free? You know, what are they going to do? Kill the Dryad Arbor? That's illegal. I guess maybe we could have just bestowed. They missed their second land too. Yeah, but in what way is Badgermole Cub Saga free? Like you're just building your whole deck around this. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem good. Maybe the Prismatic Ending? Frog is interesting. Would love to draw a land. We can protect the Dryad Arbor with the Quirion Ranger. $3 bills, the 25. Thank you, welcome back. I guess if it's free, you don't have to build your deck around it at all. You just get to do it. I guess I just disagree that you wouldn't have to build your deck around it. Like I just mostly think that I would rather play other cards with my Badgermole Cub and other cards in my Urza Saga decks. You know. They pitch a Wrath Disguise. They target the Dryad Arbor. Okay. Protect. If I don't draw a land, this was a freebie. Alright, I guess I can't be too upset about drawing the land. It's not a forest, though. Ah, don't Gorios me. There's a really big bug on my window, and I can't tell if it's on the inside or the outside. I think it's on the outside. It's gotta be on the outside. It looks like it's on the inside. I'm sorry if this is boring, but I need to keep an eye on this. It's like as big as a quarter. Okay, it was on the outside. Weird game. So I do have now enough devotion that this Nykthos is mana positive. That's something. What's the downside of playing Saga when it comes back off your 2-drop? Isn't Saga just one of the best lands of all time in a mono card deck, especially when it's make a lot of mana? I would say no. Like I think that like any fetch land is better in this deck because sorry, just paying attention. Because like it gets Dryad Arbor, or deck's really built around Dryad Arbor. I think a basic forest is almost always going to be, or a fetch land is going to be better than an Urza Saga. I think that they're like the cards you could tutor off Urza Saga are not that interesting for the most part. Like maybe like I think Nykthos is better than Urza Saga. You know, it's just like no card is ever free. I would just almost like in this deck I would just not like to play Saga over any land I'm playing, I guess. Like Urza Saga is only usually good if you're tutoring up a busted card, which this deck can't do. Or if your deck that's playing a lot of artifacts. I don't even think just like recurring it for value is even a thing anymore. I think at one point it was a thing. And I just don't think it is anymore. Yeah, it's not a forest for Nissa or Quirion Ranger. Alright, well, we gotta start popping off. Okay, that helps a lot on the pop-off goal. So this is 4, 5. We also do get to like maybe just copy Dryad Arbor this turn, which can be really strong. Don't know if that's strong here necessarily. We could bestow Nantuko on Dryad Arbor, and we could double copy also. Yeah, so many. I think I'm just gonna cast Storm the Festival. I don't know. I don't think I want to live my life in fear of another Force of Negation. You're dead on board. Well, I'm gonna cast Storm the Festival. We'll see. So the Titania gives me back a basic forest, which only gives me 2 mana, but I could go like Needle. Also, I'm not dead on board. Am I? This is 6, 10. Oh, yeah, I'm right. But I could Needle the frog with the Karn. Seems like I'm taking Titania. On top with Nissa, Nykthos and Nissa did work. Okay, I didn't think it did, but maybe I miscounted there then. Because we had 7 mana. We had only 7 mana, so if we cast Nissa, we would need 8 to untap Nykthos, right? Maybe I'm missing something somewhere. Anything better than getting the Needle? Yeah, definitely not, right? 2 floating with Nissa, untap Nykthos. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Needle Psychic Frog. So maybe we died a Prismatic Ending now. Very far from stable. Very stable but far from home free. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. So they march the Needle. So they can discard 3 cards, then draw 2, so 5. So that's 9 plus 4. I think they have exactly 13. I have no recourse. Close game. It's very annoying when you don't speak and your mic turns off. I guess could you elaborate on why it's very annoying as someone who's trying to seek to improve the stream? Because if I'm not speaking, there's nothing to hear. Okay, going to game 3. Game was very odd. Like, there are some things in life that are very annoying. You know, you walk outside and there's wasps all over the grill when you're about to grill some corn, Going to the DMV is very annoying. But maybe I'm misunderstanding, Yeah, I have a noise gate. The noise gate is really important for the audio setup because there's just a lot of other stuff that can fill the background that I don't want it to be filled here. Having a noise gate is annoying. I guess this isn't something that's been expressed a lot in general. I do appreciate the feedback. What can I do? Just have a bunch of background noise? You can hear a bit of a hum in the background and cuts to silence. I see. So maybe, I guess I need to figure out a way to eliminate the hum. It does look like there's more of a hum in the background than I've noticed previously. Though some people tell you to take the noise gate off. Well, I don't want to take the noise gate off, but I do think that we can find a good solution here. I do genuinely appreciate the feedback and want to try to figure it out. A little bit worried about getting Solituded, I guess. Solitude Ephemerated. We drew all 3 Dryad Arbors naturally, by the way. Isn't that fun? We have infinite mana next turn with Ashaya. Get a little desk fan. I don't know. I'll try to look some more into it. I know we've had issues like this. Okay, well I guess we could make the Ashaya uncounterable for free. Shouldn't matter for any real card that would be seeing play here though. So we are going to untap the Dryad Arbor, return the Quirion Ranger. This is going to give me, in theory, infinite mana, although my opponent can have a Solitude. No, I wouldn't play Spellqueller, the Solitude, Primeval Titan, Quantum Riddler world. I'm nervous here, but I think we should be good. At the very least, we have the Leyline to have infinite power on all of our creatures. Is this lethal? We have infinite. We have Leyline as an infinite mana sink. We have Storm the Festival in our hand. Which I'm just gonna go and just cast one here. And I guess we're just going to take a Leyline and a Badgermole Cub, so this loop is like significantly faster. Doesn't seem like my opponent has anything. So now I'm just going to go and I'm going to activate this Leyline. So my opponent realizes, oh, I have infinite power. I can attack with my Dryad Arbor too. Oh, I can actually attack with both Dryad Arbors for lethal this turn. So we'll just, make sure they realize that we have plenty of time to execute this. But if they don't want to concede, that's okay. We could also go play a Springheart Nantuko on a Badgermole Cub to make the loops faster. But let's do that after we flashback the Storm the Festival. So we find a Karn and we find a forest. I'm just gonna grab Mindslaver, I guess. Okay, and I think I think this should be fine to just pass to them now. I have a 9/9 Ashaya. I can just discard their hand and attack it to the frog. I have to exile the stuff from the yard, I guess. After blocks should be fine. Hey Maz, good to be back. Pinning it. I could pinning it. I could do this. It doesn't really matter, right? I guess this means I'm more likely to misclick. Okay, that was the concession. Okay, we're 3-0 with our first Badgermole Cub League. I was not expecting it to go this well, although we're definitely running kind of well, right? Sounds good if they are not a deck that's playing removal. I think I'm going to go ahead and try it. What do you think about switching Murktides in the sideboard to Prowess from Wangshi Tongs? I haven't been playing Prowess with Murktides, but my understanding is that card is mostly so you can have a giant flyer to kill Boros really fast. And I think that's a dynamic I would rather maintain than playing Wangshi Tong on the sideboard. All right, against a Flooded Strand, let's not go for the Dryad Arbor. I think I'll just surveil, even though I could see myself wanting to just be mana efficient and play Quirion Ranger. And I guess we'll get some value by surveilling that in the yard. Ass with 12 months, thank you, welcome back. Would a single Bristly Bill be faster for more swing cons? It could maybe be better than the Craterhoof. I could see it being better than the Craterhoof. Is this Aspergorios again? Flooded Strand is just so many decks right now. Okay, I think drawing the Sylvan Safekeeper, I'd like to... Yeah, I think I'm okay if they see the Safekeeper coming and they want to kill the Quirion Ranger. I wouldn't really expect them to do that, but I would be certainly happy enough if that happened. Spike, I downloaded Once Upon a Galaxy last half a day at work. I know, the game is so good. I had to play some more off stream last night too. Yeah, I could definitely see a Bill being good. Oh, sorry, I guess it looks like I dragged the screen off there. So my opponent hasn't played a spell yet. Maybe that'll change here. All right, doing some scamming. Why is there no Zern Orb in the side? I mean, we have a Titania, but the Titania is not a big part of our deck's game plan. Which card target do you think Zern Orb would be better than? Because I don't really think I'm dying to have it, but maybe you're right. All right, I don't think I want to do the Earthbending Badgermole trick because I just want to have a mana creature land here. I could go Karn plus this turn maybe. I could also I could also just bestow Nantuko on Cub and pass. That seems fine. Let's do that. It's fun too. Also, this might like eat a Force of Negation. We'd rather this eat Force than Karn, I guess. I thought the point was to bestow on the land. It can be. I guess it's better. Yeah, it's just still better. Like it gets like a little weird, right? Where you're not like necessarily advancing your board state. When you bestow on the land, you go tap, make a copy, make a copy, make a copy. You make infinite tapped lands, which might be good enough to win, and probably is good enough with Sylvan Safekeeper this game. But when you copy on the Cub, you actually get to make a lot of mana that turn to like cast the Karns and the Nissas and like try to pop off and actually win the game that turn. So there is sometimes, it seems, spots where you want to go after Cub instead of after the land. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's just in this matchup, infinite tap lands with Sylvan Safekeeper play is just going to win. Malibu, 30 months. Thank you. Welcome back. They have a prismatic ending. They're going to target the Safekeeper, which I will protect here. Although, you know what? I probably should have sacked the Hedge Maze instead. I think I'd rather be picking up the basic forest. Is their last card another Ephemerate, I wonder? They're targeting the Safekeeper again. They're definitely acting like their last card is Ephemerate. Yeah, but I'm not sacking both of my lands, I guess. It's fine. Okay, well, interesting. Interesting they didn't target the Badgermole Cub. I don't understand that. Frog is a good last card for them to have, though. Okay, so this is 2. We have 5 mana right now, and the Quirion Ranger is +1. Although I can go cast Nissa with what I have now. Replay the Hedge Maze, untap the Hedge Maze. The Hedge Maze taps for 3, and then I play another Quirion Ranger. I return the original forest. I untap the Hedge Maze. And so I have 5 mana, and I could go Karn Needle. How was Wangshi Tong? I think the card was really good. I was really impressed with it in the Is It build, and then it was like kind of fine in a deck that didn't have like Field of Ruins and Cleansing Wildfires. But having Cleansing Ruin and Fielding Wire, the card was like absurd. But I think... Sorry, I've been distracted by my hero. I think we're doing this though. Yeah, Nissa, Surveil, Graveyard, untap, 3 mana, 2 mana. Do I want to bounce the forest, or do I want to bounce the Hedge Maze? I guess I think we're gonna bounce the basic forest. 3 mana Karn Needle Frog. And then they can kill the Karn if they want, and they also get to draw 2 cards per turn. Yeah, I think Washington Tongue felt good. I didn't think... I think it seemed like it is just kind of a generically good card for the most part that gets really, really good if you have stuff like Wildfire, Field of Ruin, Path. There may be a couple more cards like that too. Field of Ruin is like really, really good with Wangshi Tong because it always forces the shuffle. Like Wildfire and Path are May abilities, so you don't always get the value, but you always get the value even if they don't have a land to search, which is interesting. All right, so one of their 2 cards they drew for turn was a land, a Polluted Delta. We drew a Springheart Nantuko. So because we have Nissa... We do get to make infinite. It's infinite lands that don't... Because so we go bestow on the Hedge Maze. Oh, but if we bestow on Hedge Maze, the land's intertapped. So we go forest, tap for 2, untap. Maybe I should have just targeted the Cub. Yeah, because I'm not. Oh, sorry, I'm not getting a landfall to target the thing. I keep messing this up. Definitely a weird deck. So I have 4 mana technically plus another 4. So it looks like I don't think there's a way for me to Karn for Mindslaver. I think I'm short of Karn for Mindslaver. So I think I Karn for Cityscape Leveler. Oh wait, no, I Karn for Umbral Mantle. And then I go infinite mana, infinite power. But I only have infinite power on one of my guys. Doesn't seem like they have anything. Right, the Umbral Mantle, it costs 3 mana to untap, so I have to activate a Quirion Ranger to do it. But then I get to also force the chump block, and I have an infinite power creature and infinite mana set up for next turn. And I get to flashback the Storm. Does Mantle win? It doesn't win this turn because I have to activate a Quirion Ranger, because otherwise I could make both of these infinite power, but I have to untap one of them first. So I think I'm going to go untap the Hedge Maze, return the basic forest. And then I'm going to go equip the Umbral Mantle for 0. Y'all maybe not familiar with this loop. So you get to tap this for green, and then we get to spend 3 mana to untap it. And then also give it +2/+2. So this is going to be infinite green mana and infinite power on the Hedge Maze. And then I think I'm going to bestow... Wait, you have something? We can respond to whatever they have with maybe they're just gonna see if their top card is good, but we can storm the festival, hit a land. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily win this turn either. So I think bestowing on the Springheart Nantuko, the Nantuko on the Cub might be better than bestowing onto the land anyways, because it might let us continue to do stuff this turn. And it seems like our next turn is going to be good enough anyways, right? Oh wait, okay. I'm sorry. I'm doing the classic Umbral Mantle thing where you accidentally lose mana. What is it? Wait, hold on. Oh, this is only tapping for 3. Sorry, I thought this was tapping for more than that. I thought it was tapping for 4. Okay, sorry about that. Also, so I guess we are just going to attack. Yeah, sorry, I thought it was infinite, but it is infinite power. It forces the frog to die, which means they're not going to be able to unlock it with the needle. We have double infinite power next turn. Very tough deck. Yeah, normally the problem is with Fnatic. You accidentally tap the Fnatic to make 1 mana instead of 4. That's what I was thinking of, which isn't what was happening here. Zathras 4 months. Nissa Shakes the World was my favorite Planeswalker when I started playing. War was my favorite set. That was a rough set, but I'm glad you liked it. She was no Dreadhorde Arcanist, was still a sweet card. Yeah, for sure. I like Nissa. I've always wanted Nissa to be good in Modern. She did get a lot better with Badgermole Cub. Alright, so they draw 3 cards. Don't auto yield. Can't we make infinite power in response to Solitude? We can, yeah. It's also like it's Magic Online Infinite instead of Real Infinite, and we're still in game 1, so I don't know how many clicks we'd want to dedicate to that, or if we would we not want to just bounce the Hedge Maze to our hand? Not sure. Ooh, okay, so Leyline of Abundance is actual infinite mana. Yeah, then the problem with Nantuko in here is that these intertap, so we don't actually get to tap them for mana for the loop-de-doop. And I guess, is this easier infinite power? I guess not really. What's the 38 months? Thank you, welcome back. I got you this Twitch Prime sub off my registry. Thank you. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay, so actual infinite mana now. And infinite power on the Umbral Mantle and the Hedge Maze. So we do have lethal in play. Let me just go ahead and show them maybe that I can do this. I can attack with both. Maybe they don't realize. I'm also kind of doing a poor job demonstrating with undoing and stuff. Yeah, we also have infinite power on all of our creatures. People have been conceding to that, so I'm going to go ahead and just activate the Leyline so that maybe they'll understand this part of the combo, even if the Umbral Mantle part is a little bit more out there. They can understand that. Storm first. Well, so what I think on Magic Online specifically, the best thing to do first is to activate the Leyline of Abundance, because it's a bit more clear what's happening. And they're more likely to concede. And if they don't concede to that, then I think we cast the Storm. Maybe they have Solitude plus Ephemerate. Well, they would still be dead even with Solitude Ephemerate at this point, because we have 5 creatures that are attacking for infinite. When Nantuko lands, die to state base effect before you can tap them. So yeah, when you copy the lands, it just enters as a regular basic forest that's not a creature. It doesn't enter as a creature forest with 0 counters. It's just a regular forest, and that regular forest triggers landfall and taps for 2 mana thanks to Nissa. Yeah, they're just going for clock damage, and it is what it is. Yeah, we should just, at this point, attack with our 2 lethal creatures, or all of our creatures, and then if my opponent does have, like, a Solitude for one of these somehow, which I don't think they can, with how this game has gone, then we could Leyline, but we don't need to. We just kill them. All right, so 15 minutes on the clock to win one of the sideboard games. Not too bad. Let's just go ahead and run it back. Type message. No, because so the thing is, I've demonstrated the loop. I don't need to type the message for them to know what's going on. And if I type the message, it gets kind of weird because it might seem like I'm trying to influence them to concede when like they are just within their right to deal clock damage to me, right? And especially like as someone who's streaming, I think it gets kind of weird to try to like, hey, concede to me, even if my like beliefs on like I don't think playing for clock is very sporting. That doesn't mean that people have to think that way or play that way. I think it's bad. I think it's bad to pressure them too. But a lot of people just want to concede for their own because they value their time, which I tend to think is good value. Possible solution for noise gate issue. Every room has a sound of quiet, which is a hum. Talk about you can record your stream's room quiet and play it as a constant background noise. You'll never notice it because it fills the gaps. It's actually kind of interesting. Yeah, let me... I'll save this comment. I'll look into that. I think it's a creative solution, too. We kept this hand last time against them, and it worked out kind of weird. We're on the draw this time. No, wait, we were on the draw last time too. No, we have the green suns for your arbors. This should be fine. Under Arco. No, I think it is kind of a good idea. Battle the 68 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Rubber Duck with the 5 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Got a frog. Ribbit. Got a Solitude. They got a Solitude for sure. I really want to just draw a forest and just get 2 more Dryad Arbors here. Not quite that lucky. Okay. 2 green Sunzinas for Dryad Arbors. 2 Solitudes. They pitch an Atraxa this time. And then they ephemerate the Solitude. It's interesting. So I guess I am not going to be green Sunzina thing because they just have a rebound ephemerate coming. Badgermole's been really good. I mean, this is our first league. We're 3-0 up a game. It has been promising. No attacks with Solitude's probably wrong. Two frogs. What the heck? Dryad Arbor, please. The third Dryad Arbor. They never expect the third Dryad Arbor. They weren't prepared for it. Why do we play 3 Dryad Arbors? Because they might Solitude the first 2, chat. You didn't think that they might Solitude the first 2. You didn't think to play a third Dryad Arbor. That's why you come to the stream. Okay, we might be going to game 3. Should have plenty of time for game 3 if we go there soon. All right. I yield out of not only respect for my time and my opponent's time, but also all of your time. Cub is kind of a crazy card. It's honestly a card I would have just never expected them to print in a standard set. It's like, I think it's like even a lot better than Fanatic of Ronus. And that was like the MH3 version of this card, kind of. Alright, on the play. Well, this hand looks sweet. I think we want to lead on the Boseiju Halfling so we can maybe get a Dryad Arbor off this. Although we also have the ability to... I guess Nykthos isn't online next turn. Imagine we draw Cub here. Can we Nissa if we draw Cub? I think we're 1 short because we go tap this for 2, Cub, tap this for 3, then we... No, but then we could activate the Nykthos. Yeah, if we draw Cub, we could cast Nissa. Although, are they going to take the Nissa? I'm not sure. Yeah, they do take the Nissa. That's cool that you have turn 2 Nissas with just 1 Leyline. Hope you have Force of Negation. Yeah, I didn't necessarily see anything for the Relic of Legends human stack. I can maybe do another look over at some point. I don't think I want to get coding. I'm kind of leaning towards Tormod's Crypt. I have 5 mana next turn. I don't really have anything like super valuable to get for 5 mana. Chromus with the 37. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome back. You're building a Shardless Agent Moomis to do it yourself. I think you have to do it yourself. It sounds sounds like we'd go 0-5. Isn't Grand helpful? Is it? I hope so. It's a very pro grandma channel we've got here. I'm only counting 4 mana, Halfling Leyline Cup turn 2. Well, no, the Nykthos, right? Okay, whenever it comes tap, draw a card and discard a card. Non-creature spells cost 1 less as long as they have 3 more lessons. I guess it goes... lets you loot infinitely if you're Relic of Legending and web slinging, but I cut the web slinging stuff from the web slinging deck, and it was better. You live one after. Okay, then we can't. Can I storm the festival? I don't think I can. Yeah, it does seem like they have Force of Negation. Five mana. Why are we zooming it? Based on how long they paused last turn. Vexing Bauble, then Green Sun. Well, we lose the Karn then. I don't necessarily love it. I also can't get Nissa. Wait, I am playing Nissa in this build, right? Yeah. I kind of want to get Nissa. Maybe that's just... yeah, I think I'm going to get the Vexing Bauble. Was Seeing Bold not the counter card? They couldn't because it was uncounterable via Delighted Halfling. Can we get endurance to block? I don't know if that's. I honestly don't know if they're like the one. Once we've got the Vexing Bauble, like the one loyalty Karn doesn't. It kind of stops mattering some. Sorry, I meant to go tap this for colorless first. I don't know why. I didn't mean to do this in this order. It's okay. I'm gonna get a cup though. And then, you know, we're going to let them frog the Karn. We've got Vexing Bauble up for their 0-mana interaction, and we've got Crypt up for their reanimation, and we've got Storm the Festival with the protection from Vexing Bauble. So I think this will be good unless they have Wrath the Skies. Fuck. Well, they had Wrath the Skies. If you green stuff for Nissa, don't you want to do that before the Bauble to get the landfall triggers? We can't. We don't have enough mana to do that before the landfall triggers. We have to Bauble first. Maybe a classic situation of playing around too many things. Not sure. All right, let's finish up the lead. I wanted to get the Arbor. I didn't mean to fetch main phase. I just kind of brain farted, but I meant to get the Arbor. Oh my gosh, this hand can go so crazy. Buddy, just don't die. Just stay with us for a one turn. You could do it. You could do it. A fetch land would be so much better than an Arbor in this hand. All right, you could do it. Maybe they're Affinity. Let's go, their Affinity. Yes! Yes! When did these kind of hands work out on this channel? Never, ever, ever. Uh-oh. Please don't have an Amok Opal. Please don't have a Amok Opal. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. I can just play around Galvanic Blast. I changed my mind. Sorry about that. Thank you for not killing my Dryad Arbor. Woo! Why I didn't Earthbend the Arbor because I would have more mana next turn. But I meant to fetch Arbor not at main phase. I just misclicked or thought too long, thought wrong. Didn't Nissa also let us Karn? Did it? I guess it did. Yeah, I guess we could have got Nissa to Karn. I was just kind of like thirsty to get the Karn and play there. But yeah, we could have got Nissa first. Definitely have not played this deck particularly well this league, but despite probably get a 4-1 or in good shape to 4-1 was nice. Could have maybe won that last match. We played around Gorios and we played around Force of Negation and to some extent Solitude. We did not play around Wrath the Skies. I do hate Wrath the Skies. I just feels like you should choose one of the things and kill that thing. I don't know. I've grown to hate it. Staff of Domination kind of goes hard in stack as the win immediately card. Is it better than Umbral Mantle? Because with Umbral Mantle, your things only have to tap for 3, which is way easier. With Staff, it has to tap for like 5, right? Another Leyline. I can't say no to you, Leyline of Abundance. Has that return been cool yet? It's been good so far. It's our first day, right? But I've liked Wang Chi Tong and I've liked the Cub. Those are the. I guess we've had a couple of other cards. We've had like the new Cleansing Wildfire. We've had Redirect Lightning. We've also had. We haven't tutored this yet. But we had the Planetarium over here. I need you to win so you can be close to mod. I think I might just mod you anyways, TZ. Have a million on me. Don't tell anybody else in chat. Kind of thought you would have been already. Is mod or VIP better? Mod is technically more powerful. VIP is classier, but we're out of VIP slots unless someone wants to gift like 1,500 subs. Give or take. So I think we just slammed the Karn. Listen, if you get 1,500 subs, you could be VIP. That's how fair and kind I am. I guess I'll Boseiju the Saga then. How generous. I know. You're welcome. Also, I don't know if that would give me. I don't actually know if that's the number. I don't know what the number is. Don't get 1,500 subs, please. I guess I could just un-VIP somebody at that point. So if this halfling resolves, then we have a uncounterable card next turn coming. Probably would grab explosives if we drew a land. Or Green Sun or Quirion Ranger, I guess. No, you can't be both. They don't let you be both blanks. Okay, we did draw the Quirion Ranger. Plus 3 mana, I think. Yeah, plus. I guess it's plus 3 minus 1, so plus 2. I guess we also do get to... Wow, we could actually... Wait, are they trying to counter this? They're floating mana. They're floating 2 white mana. Well, I can cast Engineered Explosives on 0. And if my opponent counters it with Rebuke, I can pay. And then on their turn, I could use the Quirion Ranger to untap the Dryad Arbor again, or the Halfling, I guess. And I could still sack the Explosives on their turn, even through Rebuke. So... That was a fast match. That match was like unbelievably fast compared to every other match we played. So nice. Honestly, a good start for Cub. I even thought this might be the worst of the Cub decks we had. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe this will be the best. But if this does end up being the worst of the Cub decks, and like this Nautilus build ends up being better, or if the Landfall build I have ends up being better, that's pretty exciting. Wang Shitong looked good. The new Wildfire card looked good. As far as Redirect Lightning and the Lab, we didn't get to play those very much, but not a bad first day of avataring. We'll be back at the normal time, 9 a.m. CST tomorrow morning. I hope you'll join me for that. Until then, I think I'm going to raid Young Dingo, who's doing a 12-hour Avatar stream, has a copy of Propaganda in his hand, which is crazy.